question, you're ready for your reading, drop that reading in. I will be taking people from TikTok, and then over here we've got the Facebook group. So we're going to jump back and forth. We're not going to go in any specific kind of order, but we will get to as many readings as possible over the next hour. I'm taking business questions specifically. If we feel like sometimes people will pop in with other questions. Sometimes I'll take questions on the periphery of that, which would be like career, purpose, money. Sometimes we throw a loved one in every once in a while, or I'll give you a manifesting tool for what you're wanting. Hi, Constance. So we are just getting started now. So if you do have a business question that you would like a mini reading for, drop that in the comments along with your name. If you're on Facebook and you're watching from there, there is a way that you just give StreamYard permission and you'll see a link. You might have to click to see the description of what I'm doing, but give them permission because it's hard if we just see you as Facebook user over there. It's hard for me to see like who's commenting back and what you're saying. And I definitely am not going to do a reading for a Facebook user, but so make sure we could see your name. And Solange is moderating on all the platforms, so she'll also help as well. So we're looking for specific questions. So I like working with specific business questions. So like instead of a yes, no question, Constance, I'm just going to use yours as a way of an example of a jumping off point. And you would ask, will I be successful in my career? That would be like a yes, no question. So what I would want is some specifics around what it is that you're wanting to create in your career, and something that gives us some space to go. Because what I'm going to be tuning into and pulling some cards from is the energy of where you're at now. And then I'm going to have you tune into the energy of what it is that you want, because we are all conscious creators. We are creators of our reality. And so the story that I'm going to be telling as I bring in the cards is the path of greatest ease, the path of greatest enjoyment, right? For you to get from where you are now and what you want. And so I do have a specific way in which I read and I pull through that information, but it's helpful and we get more specific information if we can get more specific about what it is that you want. So really ask that business question from that place of what it is that you do want. Oh, it's good. Okay, so we actually are on YouTube in my Facebook group. I could see now, and on my Facebook personal page, and then we have TikTok over here. So I have Solange. She helps me. She's like the magical person that keeps things flowing and helps me to pick the questions out, because sometimes it's too hard to read everything. But do you see something, Solange, that's standing out for you in terms of where we should go first for the first question?
Hi. Yes, I see Teresa as a Facebook user.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question here if you want to go first on Facebook, and then we can switch to TikTok.
Okay, cool. We'll go to you next, TikTok. So make sure you keep dropping your questions. Okay, so you said this is Teresa?
Teresa Fernandez, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Solange. Teresa Fernandez, I would like to know what I will be successful doing working from home, being my own boss. Okay. So, Teresa, I am going to need your help with this because I feel like everyone's going to have a different set of I guess different things that they're going to enjoy working from home, being your own boss. So I'm going to pull some cards from where you're at now. Let me grab my business deck out of my bag. I just realized I started to get things going. Get my decks up here, and that one didn't make it out of my bag from yesterday. Okay. So Teresa, I'm just bringing in energy right now of asking them to show me where you're at now. And then I'm going to get you involved here for this next part. And this is something that's really, really good for everybody to do. as you follow along. So rather than watching from a passive place, as if I hold the magical answers, I really want everyone to walk away from this knowing that they spent this time fucking manifesting and being a creator of their reality. So, what I walk Teresa through, I want everyone to be doing with what it is that you're wanting to create in your life, in your business, in your reality. Okay. So, this is a way to get involved for everybody. So, Teresa, what I want you to do, so the thing that you're wanting right now is to be your own boss working from home. And so, my ask for you is to do whatever you want to do to go inward. You might close your eyes. And I want you to imagine or see yourself or picture yourself so that I can tune into that energy, being in your joy, working from home, making exactly what you want, right? And if you're unsure of what it is that you're doing, I want you to just focus on the lifestyle that you have, the way that it feels to be doing that. You might get a sensation or a glimpse of what you're doing, but the specifics of what the business is right now, it doesn't even matter. I just want to get that feeling from you so that I can tune in and pull cards from that energy. Feeling your place, feeling yourself in that place of having it now. It's already here, okay? I'm going to pull. Okay. All right, Teresa. So I want to start off with the cards that I pulled from the present moment, the Nine of Air card, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. And then also there's the card of marketing. The marketing card from my business deck is coming in reverse. And it's funny, I pulled the other card. There was a third card that popped out and I put it in the middle, like I separated it. So I'm going to read that separate. So a lot of, I feel like what you're in right now, like the card is saying it's specifically of the self-fulfilling prophecies that if you don't believe that you can have it and it can be true, you're not going to have it. There's some kind of blocks for you in terms of the marketing, in terms of actually, I'm seeing marketing for you being about actually putting yourself out there, that there's definitely some, I feel like some vulnerability in that. And I really want you to hold some curiosity around where you feel like you're blocking yourself or what the discomfort is as it relates to the marketing sales part of it, because I feel like until your being and your subconscious mind feels comfortable with it, it's not going to allow you to do it. It's not going to allow you to do it. And I feel like for you, with what I'm seeing with the self-fulfilling prophecies, like expecting the worst, that your focus right now to start bringing in the next ideas and bringing in the next steps is really going to be about shifting that and shifting things within your mind. The air card has to do with the mind, with the intellect, with the thoughts. And while our logical mind is like, well, this doesn't really feel like I'm doing something for my business, because we associate and have learned that moving things towards a business, that it has to be a doing thing. But if you're doing it from the wrong state of being, from the thought, like nothing can happen, right? From a place of thinking that it's not going to work, I can't do it, this isn't possible for me. Because if that's really what it is, then God's source universe, as well as your mind, is going to be like, okay, that's what you want. I'll show you the proof of that. I'll give you exactly that, what you're asking for. So it always has to start with that. The Six of Earth card is coming in talking about gifts of money, of time, of effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. So this is like the energy, the one I said that I had pulled this card over to the side. I had pulled this card over to the side and that I felt like it was like a separate message. I felt like this card is kind of what's bridging you into the reality. So I feel like what happens when you start really doing like a lot of the things that I was just walking you through, of seeing that yourself already there, of really being able to teach your body and your mind what it feels like to be your own boss and to already be there and to get used to those feelings and knowing how to hold them in your body and to create from there. But that there is something that comes in for you in terms of money that's unexpected, something that has like a successful increase, or that you do go out and get a loan and that you have this capital to go out and to be able to make different investments in yourself and different decisions. Like I do feel like right now that you can't access those potentials. So that's why the step one is coming in saying like, okay, let's work on your mind. Let's work on seeing that as true. And then that I see the money piece coming in next, and that there's going to be some different decisions that happen with it. And then, well, this is interesting. The speaker card and the leadership card are coming in for you for whatever we tuned into. So I have a sense that you might not even see yourself this way yet, and that this is going to be more of a sense of planting some seeds. So planting some seeds for you. You're saying totally true. Yeah. And so I do feel like there's I think even Teresa, with your pull to like this group and the people that are usually pulled into me, that usually there's some kind of a story, a purpose that they have, something about them that wants to be shared with the world. And I don't think that we always see ourselves that way. And I remember thinking of that like when I wanted to do a TED Talk at some point and just thinking like, thank you. I remember thinking, oh, like, but those people all have really interesting stories and things to talk about. And I remember at one point just thinking, like, oh, but who's really going to want to listen to me talk about things? My story isn't that important, but we really overlook ourselves. We're just so used to it. We live it that it's really hard for us to see the power that we have in sharing ourselves. And so I do feel that healer within you. I think that all of this stuff, Teresa, is going to end up taking something from your story that you really struggled with. And I feel like what I see you doing is turning it into a business where you're helping people have an easier time with something that was really challenging for you. But I think that they're planting the seeds of that right now because I feel like it might not be something that you've ever considered. But I love that leadership, like really seeing yourself that way. And like, I feel like first you're going to really need to see yourself as someone that has something to value, like to give that people are going to learn from and going to get value out of. So we're going to take somebody next from TikTok.
All right.
Oh,
So I'm just
yeah. Well, I
waiting
see
for.
Jake sending a bunch of gifts over here, and
Yes.
I got a telescope from TikTok, and so I feel like, what did they ask a question specifically?
I don't think so. I didn't
Oh,
see it. Sending roses as well.
okay, yeah, okay, Jay, thank you. Like, if you do have a question, pop it in. Because I did put on TikTok which I don't really know how to navigate it over here, but I mean, I am so much in my receiving energy that if people are like, I know there's a message for me and I want to jump to the front of the line, that like, of course, we're going to receive that. We're doing free ones as well, just like we were doing. Sorry, I need to finish my little protein thing. You get protein shaker ASMR for a moment. Jamie is asking just for a general reading.
Yes.
I'll do a quick card pull for you, Jamie, because I appreciate your things. And then Solange, if you can help me start picking one out, the next one out, I'll just do a quick one for the general. Okay, so Jamie, the moon card is coming in. Important psychic insights, events behind the scene, releasing fears that are holding you back. I get the sense like there's a lot of yellow that I'm seeing in this card. So I feel like there's a lot of like manifestation energy around you. Like, I just feel like there's the sense of things being in your field that you can feel, that you can sense is coming in. But I almost feel like you're in this stage right now where you're looking to hold the belief of those things, because I feel like sometimes it's challenging to see them as being real. So the family card came in, loving your friends, family essential to your life purpose. I also noticed that this card has like been through it. This card looks really weathered, like it was out in the rain a bit. And so what I feel is that there's like been a lot of trauma in your life that sometimes it's hard for you to access or even feel safe just calming down into the life that you're trying to manifest. And so there's parts of you that like I feel like are in this protective mode, that your nervous system feels like it's in this protective mode. And I really just want you to like really reinforce, like do a lot of root chakra stuff, a lot of stuff of reinforcing your safety and what's changed and what you have now, because I feel like that's going to be really crucial for you to be taking this next life in. I also had a feeling that this was like, they were telling me that this brings a lot of like the 10 of cups the 10 of pentacles energy from like traditional tarot of like, kind of like wish fulfilled, abundance, like happy home life. So I really feel like this sense with you of you being on the right track, but that there's just this reinforcing of safety because you have been through some fucking storms. And so I think that your body and your being like really needs the safety to be in reinforced so that you can have what's next. So I would love to hear if I do readings for anybody, make sure that you respond back to me and you let me know. I see most of them, but would like to just see your thoughts and what you're feeling as you're receiving the reading and what's lining up for you, what's getting confirmed for you. And so thank you so much, Teresa. I really appreciate that comment as well. Yeah, what's resonating the most? What's your takeaway? Because I also want to make sure that when we receive readings that we're taking something from it or that we're having some kind of awareness. So if there's something that's resonating as truth and you're like, yes, that's true, then before you leave here today, then commit to it. This is that coach part of me that's just like, great, now what are we fucking doing with it? Because it's just going to be a nice conversation if we don't take something and say, great, well, I know I need to recommit to this. I've been thinking about doing this. This has been coming up for me over and over again. I will do this for myself now. So what is that for you? What are you going to do with this that's going to shift things for you and give you energy where you need it? Where am I going next, Solange?
So are we doing TikTok or Facebook? The previous one was a general one from TikTok, but maybe you can do a specific one.
We could go to Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have this one here, which is Facebook user, but it's Chantel Rayner.
Oh, hi, Chantal. Okay, great. And then we'll go over to TikTok next. So if you could start looking over there for me. So what we're looking for as well, we do need your name. If you are tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, StreamYard, there's a thing that you'll see in the description where StreamYard can use your name and it could show us who you are. Otherwise, it just shows us Facebook user. And then for TikTok, put your name before your questions instead of just your screen name. And we tend to go towards, I like specific questions. Business questions are going to be prioritized. We'll do career, purpose, and money stuff kind of on the periphery if we're not finding powerful business questions. But tell me what it is that you want, what you are wanting to create in your business versus just like, will my business be successful? Tell me what it is that you want, because we really want to make sure that we're tuning into the energy from that place. And so Jamie is saying, I need to let my guard down a little bit and allow new things to happen. Yeah. Solange, can you see if on TikTok, if you could put a comment in there that tells people what to do or what it is that we said, and I think that I can pin it from here, or maybe you can pin it. See if we could do that, because I think that'll be helpful for people. Okay, so Chantel, we're going to go over to you next. I'm thinking of adding more teaching options for myself. I'd have to take a couple classes to teach. Is this a great opportunity now or wait until later? Okay. Chantel, can you tell me what it is that you want? Like, because there's something that you feel like the teaching might add. And I feel like I'm curious of what it is. Like, okay, so let's say the teaching option happens and you put it out there. Like, I guess I'm just wanting to know like what it is that you're wanting to happen after that in your business, or if it's more of a thing that you feel like gets fulfilled for you, because I'm going to be able to give you a better reading if I understand that. And so Chantel says, I'm looking to become Access Bars facilitator, which I can then teach Access Bars. Okay. So tell me more. I'm going to pull from the present. For your business, but I do want to hear from you about and then what, because I think that that's going to help me. I think this is you. I have the opportunity to get oh no, I don't think that's you. Chantal. Oh, thank you for putting your name, Chantal. Okay, so it's a secure, steady income, stability. Okay, see, that is very good. That is very good. Okay, so before I pull cards from there, Chantal, and again, everyone follow along with this. Identify what it is that you're wanting. The way that I helped her get more specific about it, and everyone can follow along with the process, but seeing your own thing. So that your body can be learning the outcome and that you're actively manifesting and calling it in as you're on this call or this stream or whatever we call it. So Chantel, I want you to go inward and imagine, pretend, even make up that you have that stability, that your schedule is the way you want it, your money is the way you want it, maybe even seeing some tangible evidence of this. And I want you to notice the feelings and sensations that are in your body. And just stay in that for a moment as I pull from there. I love how the sound bowl, the singing bowl. I tossed one of the cards back into the life purpose deck, and the singing bowl, it hit against the singing bowl, and I was very excited. I don't know if you heard that, but we got a little ding. Okay, and we'll go over to TikTok next for the next question. So starting with the cards I pulled for you from the present moment, the Wheel card, a time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. So I do see that there's some changes that are coming. I feel like the foundations needed to be looked at, and I feel like you have a better sense of the foundations. Like now that I feel like it's just clearer, and that also to be gentle with yourself, that I don't know that you would have known how to build these foundations until you got here. So I think that the timing is on point. From my business deck, the manifestation card came in reverse. So I am feeling this sense of that you do need to be doing a lot more conscious creation with the universe, God source energy, with manifestation, that this is really a time for you to double down on that, or if you've fallen off the wagon, to bring that back, because I do think that sometimes we forget, and we tend to, like, when we get really busy or we get overwhelmed with things, we tend to, like, I mean, I'm guilty of this too, that sometimes that we stop, and they're saying, get back to it. Get back to it. The Four of Water card is missing an opportunity, discontentment, or boredom, opening your eyes to the possibilities. We got the Builder card, and also the Spirit Team card of being your own oracle. Stop seeking answers externally and speaking to your spirit team for the answers. So really what I get the sense of, the Builder card, like, I feel like it comes in a lot with the energy of like creating courses or putting things out there that are there for people to utilize. So I do feel like I don't know yet that here's what I want to tell you is I feel like the current things that you're seeking, I feel like they're being sought kind of from a place of lack or separation. And that I want you to first shift your energy to the place of possibility and going bigger towards what you really want, and then see what lines up. Then go and feel into access bars or whatever else and see, okay, from this place, like, how am I feeling about this? Because I do get a sense of like, It feels like I'm seeing like courses or some kind of a learning thing. So I do feel like some of that energy with what you're building. But I just feel like when they're talking about the missing an opportunity, I actually feel like there's something else that is not what it feels like is some kind of opportunity that comes in that is not what your mind could have possibly conceived of as an option for you, but that you become the point of attraction for it when you're doing this manifestation work and when you're really like um, putting things out there. I see that there's some kind of a opportunity, a person, a connection that gets made that I feel like it's like an ideal perfect thing, but not necessarily something that your mind can conceive of. And so I think I also want you to focus on opening up to different possibilities and ways that it can happen. Because I think sometimes when our mind gets just too stuck on like, okay, well, the only way is for me to add on more modalities, for me to get more training, that I feel like sometimes we start to really limit the universe, and the universe needs some space to work, right? And so I do think that they're saying nothing is missing. They're saying nothing is missing, that I feel like it's just different components that are put together in a different way. And I do feel like the energy, I don't know if you've been feeling that, of some kind of piece that's coming, some kind of an opportunity, an idea, a person that comes in. And so I feel like there's something that's going to slightly shift you, that you're going to be like, oh, never would have thought of that. Never would have thought that this was an idea, but I love it for me. That's what I've got for you. Okay. All right. Solange, were we able to pin that?
I can't pin on my side.
Did you put the
Can you try?
comment? I could see if I could do it.
I put the comment, yes.
You did. Okay.
Are you seeing it?
Mm-mm. I don't yet. Unless it's further up than I'm looking.
I had a question from Beautiful Me, which is Erica.
Okay.
But I just tagged her to see if she was online, but I don't think she is.
Erica, are you still online?
Beautifully Me is the username.
Yeah, your comment, they didn't. Can you put your comment again, Solange, and then we'll pin it? I think that'll be easier for people to see it on TikTok.
Yes. Just drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing it now?
No. Are you on your phone or on your
No,
computer?
I'm on the desktop version of TikTok.
Oh, really?
Maybe you're not seeing any of my comments.
Mm-mm.
That's why she's not answering.
Oh. Erica, are you still here?
Maybe I'll switch to my phone.
Okay. We'll go ahead and just drop some more comments in there. Yeah, Erica, I see your question. Will we start our business by the end of the year? Beautifully Me, Erica. If not, we're going to go to somebody different. Anybody that is watching that wants to do a full reading, we'll drop my link. I do business breakthrough sessions. It's a combination of doing a reading for you as well as doing coaching with you as well, which is the primary thing that I do. I have these gifts, but I am a business coach specifically for the star seeds and the healers, helping them to package their magic and to really take what they're doing in the 5D, a lot of like the energetic inner work, and to really understand how to market it and make it successful to people so that people no longer just see it as like a luxury or a nice to have, but like something that directly impacts their life and helps them get what they want, really into a more service-based model. And so within that link as well, if you book that one-on-one. You can also see some courses that I have, a workbook that helps you put together content more effectively that links back to what you're selling. So a lot of different resources in there. Okay, so
Are you seeing my comments now on
Oh,
TikTok?
I see you. Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
All right.
Fran, I want to open a business next year. I'm just gonna go with Fran just because it's the first business question that I see, and then we'll get you going in there. So I want to open up a business next year, but I'm not sure what direction to go into. Okay. So what we're gonna do as well is with things like this, these are mini readings. They're very quick, and so what will often be given is the next step or the thing that you need to shift to get yourself going. So I am going to pull a few cards here, Fran. But what I want you to do is, and again, everyone can follow along. Is I want you to, without even knowing the details of what that business is, I want you to imagine, see yourself living life, feeling the way that you want to feel in that business without needing to know the specific details of it. There's specific things that you want. Like there's a reason that you want this business. There's something that you feel is going to be different for you in life. And that is actually what you want. And that you're seeing the business as being what creates it for you. So I want you to tune into that outcome of it already being done, and just make it as real as possible, or just make it up like a story in your mind. Noticing the emotions, sensations that are there, the environment that you're in. And Fran as well, like inviting in any guides, any angels, any ascended masters that you work with, inviting them in the highest light and resonance, that if they have messages for you or anything that they want to share, inviting their presence in. Okay. So keep holding that because I do want to make sure that I'm pulling. I want to see that specific energy for you and what it's associated with, because every single card that I pull has an energy, a frequency, a vibration. So by you putting out and getting more specific about the frequency or vibration of what you want, it allows us to pull through better messages. When we're completely unclear on what it is that we want, we're not able to really tune into anything. It all starts with you. You get to choose what it is that you want. And so the cards will tell a clearer, more accurate story of that when you're putting that out on your side. So I see the 3 of Water card, a celebration, a wedding, a graduation, a birth announcement, the need to have more fun. There's a hiring card that's coming in as well. Let me pin this real quick. Thanks, Solange. Yeah, so then there's a hiring card that's coming in, talking about like paying someone to delegate tasks. It's also saying is it time to hire a coach. Like, so I do feel like there's a sense of like a different kind of energy that would be needed. And it really feels like a shift in your thinking. And I'm feeling actually that it's coming down to being comfortable receiving help, because I do feel like it's a really big change for you. And I kind of get this sense that I don't feel a lot of people in your immediate circle of friends or family that have like done this, right? So it kind of feels like sometimes when we don't have a specific kind of reference point, that it's really hard to move ourselves in that direction, to see ourselves doing that. Also, just based on whatever's going on around me, as well as this card when it's talking about celebration, wedding, graduation, I feel like this sense of there being some distractions around you, some things that are pulling your attention, not necessarily bad things, but I just feel like this sense that like to also be flexible with yourself, because it just feels like there's a lot going on and certain other things that are taking priority right now that you might kind of loosely start to work with this, but I feel like there's a sense of some things that you need to move through first. Like, I feel like they're completed by the end of this year, by December. And I feel like in the new year that there's just more spaciousness opened up for you to even be able to look at other things. Tell me what's making sense for you as well as I'm reading this. From the other side of it, the cards that came in, not surprising as well. I did pull a couple from my life purpose deck. A lot of people that end up on my feed, because we all attract based on our own frequency and vibration. And so usually if there's something that I'm radiating that you're saying, it is a lot that's going on. Yeah. So whatever I end up kind of radiating, that I notice there's certain themes and that happen over and over again of the kind of people that tend to cross my path synchronistically. So for you, the counseling card came in, the school card came in, and the 3 of air card, great sadness, taking time to heal, the need to forgive yourself and others. So I actually see you going into, you're saying it is resonating. Yeah. For you with your business, I don't, sometimes like when we initially get these readings, because I remember the very first reading that I got when she told me, like, I see you doing something like me, but in your own way completely. And I was like, well, that sounds nice, but I don't do any of those things currently. So but it planted a seed. Like I always remember that moment because she was accessing something that my own story and my own identity that I had about myself couldn't even see as a possibility at the time. And so for you, it does feel like there's parts of your story when it's saying take time to heal. A lot of the healers, I mean, there's a lot of darkness, a lot of shit that they've walked through. I feel like your own healing journey of processing certain things, of like healing things from your past. Not only does the healing from your past open up different possibilities for your future, it's like these different timelines get activated, but I feel like it's this purposefulness that I feel like it really ignites in you. And I do see you going down more of that path. And counseling could be many different things, many different types of healers beyond just like a counselor or a therapist. Coaching would fall into that, but to me, it's about like uplifting and supporting other people, and that your fulfillment is going to come from helping some people that with what things that you struggled with, and really supporting them. I think that's actually a very, very big theme. I think that's a very big, big theme right now for this group collectively. Because I felt like there was another message and some similar cards coming up in a different reading. Okay, so let's go over to Facebook for the next one. We're just popping back and forth. Where should I go next, Solange?
So we had a question from
Thank you, Fran.
I don't know if it's the real name or just the nickname, but it's Nika Rini. And I'm just trying to pull her question.
Thank you.
I don't think she's online though. Just tag her. Here it is.
Can you put the name somewhere? Because I want to make sure I say it, or maybe that person can put their name, how to say it in the comments, because we're seeing you as Facebook user right now. That'll also allow
Yes,
that you're here. Yeah.
but I don't know if it's online. So
Oh, if they're still
trying
online.
to see. If not, we have another questions.
Okay, we'll give her a moment to respond, because we do want to make sure that we're prioritizing the people that are online. Sometimes there's a lot of people hopping in and out, kind of coming in and out of the live feeds. And so we do want to make sure that we're talking to people that are actually here to receive the reading. So if you are just now joining, we are doing business readings specifically. And sometimes we'll do career, purpose, and money as questions that are involved in that, dimension of your occupational, professional life. Can you
Okay.
type that? So I see the names there. Can you
Yes,
we
I'll
don't I
put
need
it
a
in
way
the
to read it. So if you could either type it out for me so I can see your name and tune into your
It's on
energy and say
it's
it correctly.
on our chat now. I'll just put it there.
Oh, you put it in our chat.
And Francis was saying that thank you so much, resonating. So some confirmations there on TikTok.
Okay. I have like a little thing from Facebook Messenger that I'm trying to I can't access I'm trying to okay, there we go. I was trying to minimize it.
Oh no, it's in our chat on StreamYard.
Nanika
Oh
Renee.
yes.
Okay. Nanika Renee. Okay, got it.
Yes.
For everyone that's still waiting to get a reading, we are jumping around and we get to as many people as possible. But there's for these free readings that I do, there's never going to be like a guarantee reading. But you can pay me for one of those, and we could spend an hour doing that together. And you can find the link in bio. And it gets we get really deep when we go for a full hour on the same thing. Those are for business specifically, so it would be a blend of doing the reading, bringing in some coaching, and actually having you leave that session with what you're going to do next, with a plan of how you're actually going to integrate that into your business, rather than just being like, great, well, what do I do with all this? So Nanika says, I'm building an 8-week empowerment program, and I'd like to know if I'm heading in the right direction, and will it be successful? Okay, so Anika, I'm going to pull just a couple cards from right now. And then what I'm going to ask you to tune in to that program already being launched next. So I'm going to have you participate in just a moment. And this is, again, a good opportunity for everyone to tune into what it is that you want and to feel the outcome as already being here, right? Because there's very few things in life that are just fated, that are the way we are. You get to choose, and by the feelings and sensations that you're having, that's how you set your internal GPS to align yourselves with the people, the places, the situations that are bringing that into being, okay? So, Nanika, what I want you to do is go inward and to imagine, pretend, or make up that this course is already out there. Maybe it's even been running for a while. You see some tangible evidence that this is happening. You maybe even are seeing some of the results from your clients from this empowerment course and getting to feel that. And just really noticing what it feels like to be here in the space of already having this program running and out there being offered to the world, noticing what it shifts for you as well. I'm going to pull from that space. Okay. Okay. I'm pulling from 3 different decks for you. All right. So for the present moment, the feminine energies card and the spirit team card is coming in. I feel like with the feminine energies card that the message coming through is to be sure that you're prioritizing some of the more energetic traits. Like if we're looking at the feminine or the yin energy of building a business, that it's very different than the doing state, the yang or the more masculine energy. And so I feel like I'm wanting to bring more of that in for you, just for it to be a better balance. And I feel like there's going to be certain things that you're doing that are going to be a part of your creation process and your launch process that are just different from how you've approached business stuff and program stuff in the past. The spirit team card coming in, this came in for someone else too earlier, of like being your own oracle, stop seeking answers externally, speak to your spirit team. So I do feel like there's like the receiving of this program and the creation of it, I feel like it feels channeled, right? Like, so I do really want you to make some time to be speaking. Oh, I get a lot of head crown tingles as you're saying that. And so I really, really, okay, you're saying I'm an empowerment and sexuality coach. Yeah. Yeah. So I really do want you to see, because I think sometimes when we feel like stuff all has to come from us, that I think it makes it harder versus when we just open ourselves and know that, I mean, all of us have the ability to channel energy, to receive energy in that way. And I feel like you have a sense of that already. I feel like that's going to make sense to you. But there's certain ways that I feel like you step into the work and the creation of it and how you're talking about it, that I feel like those, the feminine side of business is more about those energies of receiving. And so I feel like that I want to bring more of that in for you right now with this program getting off the ground. Okay. Ooh, you said you wanted some confirmation here. I love these cards because you were saying I want confirmation that I'm on the right path. So the first card I flipped over was the Infinite Abundance card. There's also the Transmute card that came from my business deck, and the Nine of Air card, Expecting the Worst, Self-Fulfilling Prophecy, Sleepless Nights. So I feel like you're kind of toggling between these two energies. Like I feel like you can feel and access, like I feel like there's a part of you that can feel and access it, but then the other part's like, but is it right? And that there's kind of like a tug of war, that these two energies are kind of have a tug of war that's going on. And so I really want you to notice that, to notice if there's certain situations that pull you back into the energy of doubting yourself, because I do think that for you, like when we're in this state of possibility, and just remember as well that to open that state for ourselves, like that bliss is a portal, so that when we hear things like following our joy, that sometimes it doesn't make sense for us to, we don't feel like we're doing something that's going to put us in a productive state. But I always tell people to do everything frequency first. So it's about choosing what stream of energy you step into, and knowing that it's that flow of consciousness and that flow of energy that's going to help the right ideas come, the right people get aligned, that's going to have you jump onto Facebook or go live at just the right time with the right people watching that are aligned with you. So I just very much, very, very much, you said I am good with that. I have a strong gift. I think you're probably talking about the channeling. Yeah. The transmuting of energy is, I do feel like I'm sharing that with you from the point of that I feel like it's a part of what you're doing in that group as well. And so I think that there might be an understanding that you have about what you're doing, because I do feel like it's transmuting denser energies that block people from the empowerment side of things. So I'll leave you with that. I will say, and this is for everyone as well that wants to get involved. Um, we'll do one more reading as well, I think, since we're getting to the top of the hour. But the Package Your Magic course is $3 until the end of this week. And I priced it lower since I just want to get people going through it. So it helps me get feedback, work out any, like for instance, the worksheets were not easy for some people to access on mobile. So I went and I made a change to put it on Google Docs. So it's $3 because you basically get to benefit as I'm putting testimonials up on the sales page and things like that. You get it at a cheaper price. But Packaging Your Magic is about how to talk about things like an empowerment group from the place of connecting with your clients and seeing what it is that they want. Because there's not a ton of people, for instance, that are walking around saying, I want to feel, some people might say, I want to feel more empowered, but there's usually something on the other side of that empowerment. And if we can understand what it is that the empowerment enables for your clients, that's going to be a real key for you and having more ease with launching it and in promoting it as well, because the Business Universe workbook, the digital copy of this, which gives you a monthly process of promoting your business and making sure that all your content is pointing back to what you're selling. Well, not all of it. Some of it just do for fun. Some of it just do for fun because you enjoy it. But to make sure that you're not just making random ass content all the time and then being like, my program's not selling. And we'll pick one more from TikTok next, and then we'll be complete for the week. So keep dropping your questions over there on TikTok. The other program that I have is called Create and Launch Your Magic. And so for anybody that would like to get involved in that, that's a new program because I've seen that within our community, there's a lot of people that give up on their programs too soon, or they feel really stuck, or they're toggling between those two energies, and they get that imposter syndrome stuff and they never launch it. Then it never launches it. And there's all these great ideas and brilliant people who are not moving forward with things. And so the Create and Launch Your Magic is specifically for people that are putting courses out there and creating group programs and would like my support in making sure that you stick with it. And I'll see you through all the way until you get your first beta group in there, your first group running, and that the program is happening. And so I have a few spots initially, again, whenever something's new. The discounted rates are available to people as I collect more of the testimonials and build up more of like, the checkout pages that are fancier. So you benefit from being one of the first people in a program, because not only do you get more individual attention when it's smaller, but you get a better rate. I'm always going to give a better rate to people that are the first few in a group. So if anybody feels really called to that and would like to work with me on getting that done, reach out to me either through DM on Facebook, or you can connect to me through Instagram, easier if you're on TikTok. All right, Solange, do we see something intriguing that's pulling us in on TikTok over here?
Yes, we do have a question from Crystal Heck. I just checked on her and she's online. So, am I supposed to help people with what I've been through in life? Is that my purpose? That's her question.
Thank you, Meg. I really appreciate that. Can you say that one more time, Solange?
Yes, Crystal Heck is her name.
Mm-hmm.
And her question is, am I supposed to help people with what I've been through in life? Is that my purpose?
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Solange. So remember that even if your question didn't get selected specifically for a reading, that the people that get chosen are always the ones that are carrying messages, or if you pop on, there's usually something that you need to hear. So if it resonates, it is for you as well. I'm going to pull a few different cards for you, Crystal. I do go live several times a week. My standing times are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays is more of a Q&A. It's like a spiritual business Q&A where you can just bring in your questions and I help you with stuff and with whatever it is that you need. And then the Thursdays at 3:00 Pacific, those are the days that I'm doing business readings. And my link in bio, it does even have a free stuff section that'll allow you to get on my email list to see things like, I put out some business card spreads that you can use at home, but that'll also allow you to see like when I'm going live and to see what different things are going on, I'm pulling from the Life Purpose deck for you primarily. So first off, the Lover's card is coming in intimate relationships, carefully reviewing your decisions. Oh, a lot just poured out. So they all want to come to this party. And then also the talk to your angels. So these I feel like are like I separated them into like two categories because there's a progression to the messages and the energy that's coming in, that talk to your angels instead of worrying, asking for divine guidance. What I feel with the Lovers card, how it's talking about intimate relationships, is that the challenge for you feels like it's there's like a disbelief based on other people that I feel like are seeing you and kind of interacting with you from this old version of yourself. I see that you've grown a lot, but you're still around a lot of different people, likely family, that I feel like they don't really see you and interact with you like that. And I feel like it's just, I want you to be aware of it because I think it's mixed up in your energy a bit, and that it's hard for you sometimes to see yourself in this new way, and yourself as somebody who has grown a lot, who has a lot of gifts to share with the world. And so I just want you to be noticing of that energy, because I feel like you're going to be able to make better decisions around who you place yourself around and what you take in when you're doing that. Remember that people can only project onto us what they think about themselves and how they think the world works, what they think is possible for them. So just really keep that in mind, that that's really all that they have the capacity to do, because I just feel this sense, Crystal, that I just feel this sense of, it feels like kind of people are weighing you down, and so your choices are either to disconnect yourself in terms of spending less time, or disconnecting from the people that are not serving and benefiting you on this stage of your life, or to disconnect from the meaning that you give people's opinions and the weight that you give people's opinions. That's really important for you right now. In terms of your question around, like, am I meant to use my story, what I've walked through, the cards that came in next are spiritual teacher, healer, speaker. And then there's a builder card and a children card here. So I feel like you said I've been trying to grow a lot. Yeah. And so, I mean, these cards for me, like, I feel like all of them fell out of the deck because I feel like they're trying to be very reinforcing and very firm with the message of, like, okay, yes, there is absolutely something here. Do you have kids, or are you wanting to have kids? This is interesting because I also feel like and it's coming in with the builder card. And so I feel like there's some considerations here related to, like, my feeling is that you might need to give yourself some permission or spaciousness to do it in a way that works for you and in a timing that works for you, and to not be hard on yourself if there's other things because it does feel like there's other parts of your life that are important, but that your timeline might be a little bit different on this, is what I'm seeing. You have 3 kids. Okay. Yeah, that's making sense too, because it's like I have 2 kids, and it's been challenging for me. My daughter turns 3 next month. My son is 5 and he's autistic, so there's definitely some extra things that are challenging with that. And I think that everyone, like, that's why I was saying that we are always put in front of the people that are going to be able to feel the energy and understand the energy, because there's a way that I'm able to directly connect with that feeling, right? Your kids are 2, 9, and 6. Yeah, it's a similar span. You have one that's older, but yeah, it is challenging. And like, some of the things that I found is that like, your ambition doesn't adjust when you have kids. Like, all of a sudden you don't become like less ambitious, and so sometimes the things that you're wanting, or the expectations that you have of how quick you can get things done, it can be hard to rein those in. And it can be really hard sometimes, like, especially when it's like the more spiritual kinds of businesses or the healing businesses, that sometimes it's hard to, like, make that space for ourselves when we're balancing that. And that I just don't want you to compare it to other people's time frames. You said, I feel like I'm struggling because all my adult life I've been a mom and I don't know who I am now. Yeah. um I will say that the recommendation that I have for people is to really dive into their own story. My Package Your Magic course does start to take you into this. I don't know that it might be too much, I feel like, for where you're at now, but the process is about really looking at your own story and your own portals of transformation, and becoming a mom is one of those things. That's important, right? That, like, that sense of thinking about, wow, um, you know, what if my service to the world is, your story is your service. So if you end up going through this process of transformation, of rediscovering who you are now, I could really see potentially that being a thing that you end up helping moms do on your own journey. You said, I feel like I'm in a rush to have a career because other people are wanting you to work. Yeah, I do know sometimes it can be hard to just be pulled in all those directions. And but I will say that it is possible, it is totally possible. And there's been a lot of my business and, like, all my trainings. Like, I remember being 6 months pregnant with my son, he who's almost 6, when I was finishing like a coach training, and then being like, okay, well, now I have to wait. I saw my peers going on and doing this certification program, but it was 6 months and I was 6 months pregnant. And I was like, I can't do this right now. So I felt like there was a lot of, like, different things sometimes that I had to navigate, and that it took me longer than my peers that had older children or no children. But I really feel like the thing that was good is that that done is better than perfect energy. I felt like that perfectionist in me, like, it just really had to take a back seat, and I really had to, like, just get into the point of, like, learning, like, okay, well, this is the time that I do have. What's the most that I can do with it? What's something that energizes me, because I need to feel energized by this work so that it's really feeding me and nourishing me. I'd say for you, as a next step of, like, reconnecting with who you are now, I would look at your own story. If you look at some models like the hero's journey, for instance, like, and connecting with those, like, you can Google that and see the different stages of your journey, and actually connect with and overlay that in your life, and really see your life from a different lens. Or look at those big journeys that you've been on, those portals of transformation, those things that you've struggled with. You're saying, my brother is an addict and I feel like I'm supposed to help with other families who have gone through it. Okay. Yeah, that's a really, really powerful that's a powerful one. And so I do feel like it's looking at, because there's so many people that we could potentially help and serve, and our own story helps us to narrow the people that we are really leaning into. Our own experience of walking through that allows us to have credibility with people, relatability with people. Just like, for instance, with the conversation that we're having about me having a business and having young kids, is that sometimes if there was a coach that was telling you to do things that never had kids, and they're telling you, like, that, it's hard to really take that in when we feel like people haven't stood in our shoes before, that they don't know how it feels. So naturally, people do feel safer and more pulled towards people that they feel like really can see them with where they're at. And so I feel like, for you, I would really get more curious about that in my free stuff section, which is in my link in bio. It'll just say free stuff. I know that it's on Facebook. It's on my personal profile page, or maybe we can drop it in the comments. And that one has like 30 questions to, like, explore and clarify your purpose, is what I think it's called. Um, and that one will help you get more, I feel like, clear on it, because I think that it's really important to see, when we have a business, it's really about being of service to a group or community. That's ultimately what niche is. And so it's important to see the thing that we care deeply about that has something that's so much bigger, right? It's so much bigger than just us and our own individual success, when we're able to connect it to that purpose, to that thing that we really want for a community of other people. And that's also the thing that keeps us showing up even when it gets hard. That's the resilience factor, which is so important in a business. You said, I had this premonition or feeling that something bad will happen before I can help others. So that would be the next step for you. I'm going to complete right now. I will be back for readings. I do it every Thursday at 3 Pacific. And then there's other places you can catch me. I'm primarily Ashley Bradley, the Starseed Business Coach. So I'm helping the spiritual business owners, people that are healers and hypnotists, that are energy workers of different kinds, to package their magic without watering themselves down, without feeling like you can't have multiple modalities or things that you do, but to make sure that you have the language and the tools to make money doing what you're doing, so that you're in the position of being able to share what you do with the world, to do it as full time as you want it to be. And I love helping people to grow their communities and to get their group programs and courses out there. So you can book a one-on-one reading with me, a business breakthrough session, where we will do a reading where I'll do some coaching with you, where you're going to leave that session with knowing exactly what you need to do to move things forward. You will leave with your plan and with some homework. And that's a really good place to start. If you're unsure, of where to go, we can get a lot done in 1 hour together. Well, thank you, Scarlett. I appreciate it. My one-on-one sessions are $250. So I have been doing this for a while at this point. So it's a good price comparatively to like my ongoing work. If I work with people one-on-one ongoing, it's 3,000 minimum. So the 250 I feel like is a great entry level price. And it's a something where you're going to get a lot of concrete stuff of what to do next, what to focus on next. Because I think a lot of times people just need clarity and a plan. And if we think about that 250 as well as an investment in ourselves and what we're not going to get done, if we end up staying and changing nothing, sometimes we need a different kind of energy to come up and be that pattern interrupt, or to be that person that's just going to be like, whoa, 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 let's just simplify this. Let's just simplify this and look at it together so that you can start moving forward and doing it. So it really is one of those things. I feel like when we make that investment in ourselves, it's like our firm commitment to the universe of saying, I'm ready to do this and I'm fucking serious about it. I'm ready to invest in myself in the future that I want. So I feel like even when I started to like get my business deck going and I paid that first half of it for the designer, it was like terrifying, but I was like, oh, it feels so good to be like, I trust this vision. I trust this. Like, I'm going to start telling the universe that I am fucking serious about it. Let's get this going. That's how I see it. So anyway, you're asking the universe to align you with the abundance for this. Yes. Yes. I love that. I was on a Carolyn Elliott call the other day as well. And she's one of my favorite people. I love her book, Existential Kink. And she does something called Sleepover Mystery School. So she was telling, just say like, okay, like I want this, like, if this is aligned for me, bring it in, bring in what I need to make this happen. And I feel like it's really good to talk like that, to let your spirit team know what it is that you need and to be letting them know your specific requirements. But I have gone a little bit over time wise, so I'm going to wrap it up now. I will see everybody soon. Thank you for hanging out. Bye. Thanks, Solange. Sorry for running over a